everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Kelly and today we'll be going through a mat Pilates class. All you'll need today is a mat or a towel or a blanket, whatever you have on hand. So let's get started on all fours. We're just going to kind of stretch out the wrists and warm up the wrists a little bit before we get started. So we'll have our hands right underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide and knees under the hips. We're just going to do a little rock back and forth just to get some movement in the wrists. Warming up the body because we do have a lot of planks coming up. And then if you just want to take it side to side, let's get some movement going. And then I like to flip one hand over, fingers facing towards your knee, and just give a little pull back. Just be gentle here. And then we'll do the other side. Flip that hand over, fingers towards your knee. Just give a little pull, again, being very gentle. We'll take all the fingers out towards the side, away from the body. And again, just give a little rock side to side. And then coming back to center. Again, if you just want to give one more rock forward and back, and side to side. And then I'm going to take my fingers, keeping the palm down, turning it in towards my knee. And again, give it a little gentle pull. Again, be very careful here. Take your time. And then onto the other side. So fingers in. Just giving a little gentle pull back. And then we'll turn all the fingers forward right underneath the shoulders. Now we're going to get right into that plank. So you're going to step one foot back into full plank position. And then the other foot back. So we're in a nice full plank here, dropping that tailbone down, pulling the frontal hip points towards the rib cage, lifting the ribs off the floor. Pushing up through the shoulders with the fingertips spread wide. You're going to take that right foot, you're going to lift that foot up and pull that right knee in towards your left elbow. So it comes across the body. You're going to send that right leg back, drop the foot down, and from here we're going to bend the knees, and you're going to sit that right hip down onto the ground and pop right back up to plank. So again, same side, right foot lifts, knee comes to left elbow, opposite side, send the foot back, drop it down, bend the knee, sit that hip down and pop right back up. And again, right knee to the left elbow, send it back, bend the knees, sit it down, pop back up. Let's do two more on this side. So you should start to feel those obliques turning on here with that little sit. Coming back up, switching sides. Left knee, right elbow, send it back. Bend the knees, give a little sit and a pop. Opposite knee to elbow, bend and sit and pop. Three more. So warming up the body here. Hopefully you feel those obliques turning on. Last two. Sit and pop. Last one here. Back, up and hold just for 3, 2, and 1. Knees go down. Child's pose. Deep breath in through the nose. Long exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale, popping back up to all fours. We're going to do that one more time. This time we're going to pick up the pace, a little less direction from me and a little more on your own. So pushing up through those shoulders. We're going to take a deep breath in. Step one foot back to that full plank. And then the other foot, starting with that right side again. Knee to elbow, back, bend, sit, and up for 4. Back and up, last 3. Down and up for 2. Make sure you're breathing. Last one this side. Down and up, other side. Opposite knee to elbow, down, pop, up. Just 4. Last 3. For 2. Bend and sit, pop, last 1. Pop up for 3, 2, 1. Knees go down. Child's pose. Deep breath in. Long exhale out. Deep breath in, fill the back and sides of the rib cage with air. Long exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, rounding the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Give those wrists a little shake, right? You gotta warm those up. And then we'll have a seat so we can come onto our backs. So with our feet about hip distance apart, knees are bent, and then we'll just slowly come onto our backs. Arms will go down by the sides, taking a deep breath here. On the exhale, let's round those hips all the way to the sky, finding a nice shoulder bridge. So we've got one long line from shoulder to knee. You're activating the back of the legs, glutes and hamstrings to keep those hips lifted. Knees and toes are pointing forwards. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, lead in with the sternum. Slowly articulate down with control, one vertebrae at a time. All the way down through imprint until that tailbone hits. Release to neutral. Inhale. Exhale, press into the feet to roll the hips to the sky. Inhale at the top, closing the ribs. Exhale from the sternum, articulate down, reaching for the knees. So you can get a little more length through that spine. Release to neutral. Inhale here. Exhale, press and lift. Take your hands here, just touch the back of your hamstrings. Make sure those hammies are on. Once you know those hamstrings are on, inhale. And then exhale, slowly roll it down. Let's do two more like this. Take it at your own pace. If you feel like those knees are not tracking the way you want them to, not going directly forward, feel free to put a pillow or a block or a ball between the knees to help you stay tracking. Last one here. And slowly roll down. So for this next series, let's take the hips to the sky and hold. So hips come all the way up, hold it here. Now without rolling, we're just gonna hinge the hips down and press back up. So we go down just an inch or two above the floor and press back up. So no articulation here, just using the back of the legs, glutes and hamstrings to lift and lower. Again, you want those knees tracking directly over the ankles, reaching through the knees, turning on the glutes and hamstrings to lift the hips. For two. Last one here, all the way up to hold. Now those glutes and hamstrings should be on fire. We're gonna make it a little worse. We're gonna take that right foot, we're gonna walk it out, just a foot, and then the left foot out, just a foot length, and then rock the right foot in, and the left foot in. So try and keep those hips high. We walk out, in, out, in. So I like to lift my toes here, just so I can get really deep into the back of the leg. But if you feel more comfortable with that full foot down, you can do that. Out, in. Make sure those hips are staying nice and high. They're not sinking down. For two more sets here. Last set, one, in. I'm gonna put my toes down, make sure my hips are high, and then I'll articulate down with control, and then hug the knees into the chest. So those glutes and hamstrings should definitely be turned on here. So from here, we're gonna take that left foot, it's gonna go flat onto the mat. The right leg will extend out long against the mat, so just reaching long here. So I'm gonna take both arms and I'm gonna reach them back overhead, but only as far as my ribs can stay closed. So you can see if I put my arms all the way back, what happens is my ribs open and my low back pops up. So I'm gonna pull my arms just up to a little above my ears so I can keep those ribs nice and locked down. So I have a really strong core connection. So we're gonna take a deep inhale. On the exhale, that right leg, my chest and arms are gonna lift up, and then we'll slowly lower down. So exhale, lift and reach. Inhale to lower. And again, as I lower down, I'm only lowering my arms as far as I can keep those ribs knitted together. I'm staying in a neutral spine here, so you don't have to have that back all on the mat. You just have a little natural curve of that lumbar spine. Option to go slower, to go faster, whatever works for your body here. We'll exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower with control for two. And down. Last one here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Again, just sweeping my arms to the side. Bend that right knee. We're just going to do the opposite side. Left leg extends. Arms go back again, only as far as you can keep those ribs closed. Press that right foot into the mat, grounding. Exhale, lift up. Everything reaches. Inhale, control down. Exhale, lift and reach. Inhale, lower. So think about pressing that right foot into the mat, closing those ribs to help you lift and reach. Chin stays off the chest. Exhale, nice neutral spine. And reach. Option of a slight bend in that left knee if that's better for your body. You can omit the chest lift as well. You just want to do the leg. For 2, lift and lower. Last one here, reach. Lower down, sweep the arms, bend the knee, and then hug those knees into the chest, rock side to side. So sticking in our ab series here, we'll start with the feet flat. I'm going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your right leg to tabletop. Inhale, bring your left leg to tabletop. So now with both legs up, we're in what we call an open kinetic chain. So we're going to have an imprint in that low back. So the low back is all touching the mat here. Shins are parallel to the ground. Knees are stacked over the hips. And we're going to start in a frog position. So arms are by the sides. Heels together, toes apart. The knees come about as wide as your shoulders. So keeping that imprint, we're going to exhale as we press the legs out. We'll bend them back in. Then we'll press them up to the sky and bend to tabletop. So we go out, in, up, and bend. Out, in, up, and bend. Now the lower the legs go towards the floor as they press out, the more challenging this will be on your abdominals to keep that imprint. So you can work whatever angle is best for your body, as long as you're maintaining that imprint. Keeping that chin off the chest, ribs closed, no space between the low back and the mat. Out, in, up, and down. 2 more, and then we'll add on. Last one here. Up and bend. So adding on here, you don't have to. If this is enough for you today, you can stay right with that exercise. If you're adding on, follow me. As we press out, we'll lift the chest, reach through the arms, lower the chest as you bend the knees. Take the legs up, bend the knees. So we press and lift. Lower, bend, lift, bend. Press, reach, bend, lift, bend. Press, reach, bend, lift, bend. Keeping that imprint the whole time. Again, you can always omit the chest lift if that's not right for your body. Should feel those obliques turning on here. 2 more. Reach, bend, lift, bend. Last one, reach, bend, lift, bend. Hug those knees into the chest. A little rock side to side. We're going to take both legs straight up to the sky. So I've got nice tight hamstrings, so I'm going to give just a minor bend in my knees. I'm going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. I'm going to reach towards my right ankle. So you can lift and reach either above or below the knee, just not on the knee joint. I'm going to lower that left leg down just with the mat, keeping my imprint for scissors. So I'm going to give 2 little pulls on my right leg and switch. Pull, pull, switch. And if this is not for you today, again, you can always lower the chest and just do the legs. Most important thing here is keeping that imprinted spine. Think about lengthening that leg instead of lowering it so you can get a little longer. Reach through that leg. Reach, 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 reach. Ribs are closing, chins off the chest. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Almost done for 1 more set here. Last set, both legs up. Bend the knees, rock side to side. Let's take a nice little spinal twist here. So I'm going to place my feet down first, arms up to the letter T. Both knees drop to one side, look in the opposite direction. Pulling those knees up towards your armpit will give you a little bit of a deeper stretch. Deep breath in, long exhale up. Deep breath in. Exhale, knees come through center, through tabletop, over to the other side. Slowly drop those knees down with control. Lift the head to the opposite side. Again, pulling those knees up for a little bit of a deeper stretch through the spine. Deep breath in. Long exhale out. Deep breath in. Long exhale out. Last one here, breath in. Exhale, knees come through center. Give them a little squeeze. And then I'll rock and roll all the way to a seat so that we can turn over on our stomachs. So all the way onto your tummy, prone as we say. You're going to bring that head down into the mat. We're going to start with the hands right by the shoulders. So fingertips spread wide, foreheads down. Your pubic bone is heavy into the mat. Ribs and belly button are pulling up off the mat. So you're just going to give a light press of the hands on the exhale to lift the chest and look out. So looking just about 2 inches in front of the nose. Shoulders are pulling down the back, belly button's pulling up. Try to release the glutes here. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Deep breath in. Exhale, just lightly press into those hands to lift and reach. Again, looking out about 2 inches in front of the nose and slowly lower. So you're trying to draw those shoulder blades down the mat as you lift up, down the back and slowly lower. Let's do 2 more like this. Shoulder blades glide down. Feet are heavy. Inhale, lower. Last one. Shoulder blades pull down, lift and reach. And slowly lower. So just taking it up 1 notch. This time as we lift the chest, the hands will hover. So pulling those shoulder blades down the mat, or down the back again, lower down. Exhale, lift. Reach those hands, hover. Inhale, lower. And exhale, pull those shoulders down. Inhale, control. 2 more. Belly button pulls up to protect the low back. Lower down, the last one here. Lift. Slowly lower. Taking it up 1 more notch. The arms reach down by the sides, reaching along through those fingertips. Roll the shoulders back and open. Lift the chest, pulling those shoulders down. And slowly lower. Let's add the legs. Arms and legs lift and reach. Slowly lower. And exhale, everything lifts. Belly button still pulling up, reaching long through those legs. Lower down. 2 more. And reach. Hold. And lower. The last one here. Exhale, lift and reach. Long through the crown of the head. Slowly lower. Let's take those arms above the head. So I'm just going to place those pinkies down into the mat, like you're karate chopping the floor, and then draw the shoulders down the back so you don't have the shoulders up in the ears. Still reaching along through those legs. We'll take a big inhale. On the exhale, everything lifts 1 more time. And from here, we're just going to go swimming. So opposite arm and leg lift a little higher, and switch, and switch. Again, think about that length through the arms and the legs, not just the height. And you're still pulling that belly button off the mat to protect the low back. Shoulders pulling down, away from the ears. For 3, 2, 1. Everything lifts to reach, just hold. Slowly lower down. Good. Take those knees, bend the knees, just rock them side to side. Little release for the low back here. And then from here, we're going to take our hands, stack them on top of each other, and place the forehead down into the mat. So just resting that forehead onto the hands. You'll bend the knees, bring the heels together and the toes apart. So the knees are about mat width apart, and you've got that little froggy position with the feet looking like they're flat to the ceiling. So from here, that belly button still pulls up away from the floor, and you're going to activate the glutes and hamstrings just to lift the knees off the mat and lower down. So you're effectively squeezing the heels together to lift the legs and put a footprint on the ceiling. Now that belly button still pulls up to protect the low back. We're trying to keep any work out of the upper body. The upper body is not invited to this party. Glutes and hamstrings work to lift, control it down. Lift and lower. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. So those glutes and hamstrings should really be working, especially if we did that shoulder bridge series. Let's go for 2. Last one here. Can you lift those legs up and hold? From here, act like you're closing a book. Close the knees, open the knees. Keeping those knees lifted off the mat, you're opening and closing your book. Try to relax the upper body. I know I'm having a hard time with that as well. Close and open for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Open, lower the knees, shake the legs out. You want to rock them side to side. Relax the neck and shoulders. Legs go down, hands by the shoulders, push back just like a child's pose. So you get some flexion in after all of that extension. Deep breath in here. Exhale, let it out. 1 more deep breath in. And exhale. And we'll round all the way up so we can come to a side lying position. So options for side lying, you can either be down all the way on your side with your head as a pillow or your arm as a pillow. I'm going to be up on my forearm today, but again, if that's uncomfortable for you, just take it all the way down using that bent arm as a pillow. So make sure the hips are stacked here. you're pressing firmly into the floor, and you're pulling that side body up away from the floor, so you're actually engaging those obliques here. Long line from shoulder to heel. Top hand is going to go in front for support. So we're going to start with that top leg. It's going to lift up just about hip height, and we're just going to circle it forward, down, and around. So here you're trying to keep those hips really stable, and that stability is going to come from the core. So the ribs closing, pulling up away from the floor, from that side body, keeping those hips nice and still so you can feel that outer leg and glute working. Really push up through that shoulder. And reverse, opposite direction. We go back, down, and around. Make sure that head is following the line of the spine. Last one here, lift, lower down. So we're gonna go right into our bicycle. So just like you're riding a bicycle with that knee, it's gonna lift up, bend, reach out, press back. So we bend as it comes forward, sweep it out, and back. Again, the goal here is stability through the pelvis, through the hips, keeping the body nice and stable from the core. You should feel that top leg working here, the bottom obliques, the bottom arm. Full body workout in this one. I'm starting to feel that top glute here. I don't know about you. Let's do one more this direction. And we'll reverse. So the leg will come forward, bend the knee, and back. So we're pressing back behind the body so you can really feel that glute start to turn on. I like to make my movement pretty slow just so I can make sure I'm really stabilizing and working that whole body in every movement. Are we breathing? Most importantly, for 2. Last one here. All the way forward on top of your bottom leg and lower down. So just give that top glute a little shake out. We're gonna bend that top leg and bring the foot in front of the body. So that foot's gonna go flat, and we're gonna work that bottom leg here. So that bottom inner thigh will work to lift and lower. Again, with this exercise, you're gonna think about reaching through that bottom leg instead of just lifting. So you can continue to get a little longer. Reach and lower. Let's just do a few more here because I really like this one. How about 5? We'll go for 5. 4, last 3, 2, and 1, lower down. So from here, I'm just gonna roll onto my back and take a quick figure 4 stretch before we do the other side. So I'm gonna take my working leg, that ankle goes over the opposite knee. I'll pull that bottom leg to tabletop and give it a little hug. So I can stretch out that working glute and hip. Should feel nice right now. Just take a deep breath, prepare yourself for the other side. We'll just head those knees in, rock and roll out to a seat, and we'll switch sides. So again, if you are lying down for the last side, you'll lie down again here. I'm gonna be up on my forearm, stacking the hips, one long line from shoulder to ankle. Again, you wanna pull that bottom side up so the obliques are engaged, and then we'll take that top arm for support just in front of the body. So we'll start with those circles. We're gonna lift that top leg up to hip height. We'll circle forward, down, and around. Again, nice and slow and controlled movements. Keeping that upper body really stable, the hips really stable, reaching long through that leg. 2 more here. And reverse. We'll go back, down, and around. Pull those ribs in. Press up through that bottom arm. No slacking. For 2. 1, and lower down. Shake it out, and we're right into our bicycle. So we'll bend the knee forward, down, and back. So just like you're riding a bike. Again, keeping those hips really stable and controlled. That leg goes behind you as it presses back, so that glute turns on. For 2. Last one this direction, and reverse. We go up, back, and forward. Now you might have one leg that feels a little stronger than the other, is getting a little fatigued more than the other side. That's normal. Stick with me here, we're almost done. With this exercise at least. For 2. Last one here. Lower that leg down if you want to give it a little pat out. And then we'll bend that top knee right in front of the bottom leg. Reaching long through that bottom leg, we lift up and lower. Exhale, reach and lower. Again, we're working lengthening through that leg, not just lifting. You should feel that inner thigh turning on. Reach. Don't forget we did a few extras on this one because it's one of my favorites. So we'll do a few more here for 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, roll onto your back for that figure 4 stretch. So you're going to take that top working leg, ankle over the knee, just give it a little hug here, a little stretch for that outer hip. Just enjoy, because the next thing's going to be challenging. Just prepare yourself. We'll hug those knees into the chest. Rock and roll all the way to a seat. So you're going to flip over to all fours. Again, I know your favorite place because it's plank time again. So hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. So you might remember this. We do it on the reformer sometimes, which actually makes it a little more challenging trying to keep the reformer still. But we'll just do this on the mat today. So tuck the toes under, pushing up through the shoulders, ribs pulling out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, to lift those knees just to a hover. So you want a nice neutral spine. The hips are right over the knees, the shoulders over the wrist. And then from here, you're going to take one foot back to a plank, the other foot back to a plank, and then right foot back in, left foot back in. So same foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. So we're just walking out, out, in, out, out, in. Keep pushing up through those shoulders. Ribs are pulling off the floor. 2 more sets, just with this right side. 1 more set. In, hold. Lower the knees. Push back, child's pose. Deep breath in. Mentally prepare because you have to do the other side. You don't think you're going to get away without doing that. Deep breath in. Exhale, shifting forward, coming back to that all fours position. Toes are tucked under, so we're going to do the same side. We're just going to start with the opposite leg. So nice deep breath, ribs are pulling up. Exhale, lift the knees, hold. So find that nice neutral spine, ribs pulling up. Starting with the left foot, we go back, back, in, back, back, in. If this is too much for you, you can stay with the knee hover, or you can take a break. Take to child's pose if you need it. You always have permission to do less here. Almost done. Then we get our child's pose. Keep looking forward to that child's pose. 2 more sets. Out, out, in, last set. In, hold. Knees drop. Pull back, child's pose. Nice work, everyone. Deep breath in. And that long exhale. Last one here. Rounding up nice and slow. We're going to have a seat on our bottoms. And we're going to go back onto our forearms. And again, if this is an uncomfortable position for you, you're welcome to lie down onto your back and just do this ab series lying on your back. So from here, you're going to have a nice neutral spine, really pushing up through the shoulders so that you're not sinking down into the mat. So really pushing up and then closing those ribs nice and tight. We're going to take those legs and we're going to find a tabletop position. So pressing up, ribs closed, we're just going to go right into a bicycle. Nice little bicycle movement here. Again, the lower the legs go, the more challenging this is going to be. Option to do this onto your back. A few more sets here. Sorry if you can hear my hips clicking. Last set, 1 on each side. Come back to tabletop. Slowly lower the feet. Give those knees a little rock side to side. If you want to go down to the forearms, now would be the time before we get to our next exercise. So again, pushing up through the shoulders, 1 leg to tabletop, and then the other. This time we're going to take those knees just into a diamond shape. So the knees are about as wide as the shoulders. We're just going to go into some toe taps. So keeping those ribs closed, we tap the foot down towards the mat and up. Opposite leg, we tap down and up. Now, as you lower that leg, if you feel those ribs opening, if you feel everything's falling apart here, don't lower that leg quite as far. So only lowering as far as you can keep everything under control in the center of the body. So you really feel those obliques start to kick on. I don't know about you, but it's getting pretty warm here already. Still early. Waiting for a breeze to come through my door here while I'm working so hard. 2 more sets. Make sure those ribs are really closed. You're not sinking through those shoulders, are you? Last set here. Back up, legs to tabletop, 1 foot down at a time. Lower down onto the back so that you can hug the knees and rock side to side. All right, rolling back up. Let's get ready for push-ups. So I know I've been doing a lot on the hands and on the wrist today. That's why we warmed up the wrist earlier. I know I was preparing you. So let's come to all fours first. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. So we're gonna do a 1 leg kick push-up, I guess you could call it. So I'm gonna keep my right knee in this bent tabletop position, and then I'm gonna extend my left leg out. So I'm gonna have my hands right underneath the shoulders so I can keep my elbows really close, and I'm actually gonna walk my right knee in just a little bit, so it's really a quadruped here. So I'm gonna bend those elbows straight back to my hips as I lower my chest and lift that left leg up, and then give myself a push up and tap the floor. So that right knee stays down, the left leg lifts up. And you want those elbows going directly back towards the ribs, so you get that nice push-up position. We're gonna inhale to lower, exhale, push up. Let's do 2 more. Down and up. The last one, you're trying to get that nose to the mat. And all the way up, good. Bend that left knee. If you wanna roll those wrists out before we do the other side, just give them a nice little roll, a little shake, and we'll go right into the other side. So hands again underneath the shoulders. I'm gonna make sure my knees are in a good place to start this time. I'll extend my right leg back. Again, trying to square the hips, pulling the ribs off the floor so the core is engaged. As I bend those elbows, my right leg lifts up and I tap it down. So trying to bring that nose to the mat, ribs pulling up. Inhale down, exhale, press. Nice tricep push-up here for 3. You get a little extra support by having this 1 knee down. Last one. All the way up, bend that knee in. Have a seat back. Give those wrists a little roll and a little shake. All right, I'm gonna come to standing, so come on with me. I'm just gonna pull my laptop up here a little bit so you can see me. Hopefully that's a little better. All right, I'll just come into a wide stance here. So wide plie squat. So you want your toes pointing out to the sides, and shoulders and hips are square, ribs are closed. So just starting in that plie squat, we're gonna go down like you're in a toaster and stand all the way up. So shoulders stay over hips as we go down and stand. Down and stand. If you want something else to do with your arms here, feel free. Whatever's comfortable for you, you can bring them to the hips, behind the back. Most importantly, those knees are tracking over the ankles. And you're trying to keep that chest vertical right over the hips. How are we doing? You should feel those inner thighs. Let's do a few more here. For 5, 4, last 3, and 2. You know what comes next. Last one's a hold. Hold it down here. Make sure that tail's tucked, the ribs are closed, arms are wherever's comfortable. You're just gonna go into a little pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Can you get even lower? Really tuck that tail down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, down and hold. We're gonna lift the left heel up, lower down. Right heel lifts and lowers. Lift and lower. Make sure the shoulders are down. We're trying to get those quads parallel to the ground. Should be really warmed up now. I can definitely feel my quads and my inner thighs. lift, lower. Can you just lower down 1 more inch with the hips? 2 more sets. 1 more each side. Now we're gonna lift the left heel up, the right heel up, hold, lower down just 1 more inch, just for 5, 4, I'm shaking, 3, 2, 1, lower the heels, stand it up, woo, shake it out. That was a real burner. We're gonna step to the back of our mat. Take a deep breath in as those arms reach up overhead. Exhale, slowly dive forward, 1 vertebrae at a time, rolling all the way down, let the head drop, grabbing opposite elbows, slight bend in the knees, little rock side to side with that torso. Catch your breath here. Deep breath in, let the hands drop. Exhale, lean in with the tailbone round up 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll those shoulders back. Get 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, diving forward, rolling all the way down, grabbing opposite elbows, bending the knees, little rock side to side. And this time I'm going to let my hands drop. I'm going to walk my hands all the way out. I'm going to lift my right leg up, bend my right knee in so it comes under my right wrist, and drop down for a pigeon pose. So we did work a lot of that outer hip today. If this is not right for you, if this doesn't feel good, you can take a reclined pigeon or that figure 4 stretch on your back. Whatever is comfortable for you here. You also have an option to come down to the forearms if you want more. Deep breaths here, just cooling down the body. Then I'm going to walk myself back up, tuck my back toes, press it back to that plank or down dog position, and lift my left leg up, bring that left knee under my left wrist. Drop it down, find that nice pigeon pose. Again, option to come down to the forearms or go into a reclined pigeon. Whatever is best for your body here. So enjoying this stretch, you worked hard, you earned it. And then pressing up 1 arm at a time, tucking those back toes, pressing back to that downward dog position. I'm going to slowly walk those feet up towards the hands. Again, letting the head and arms hang heavy, little shake. And then rounding up 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll those shoulders back. Very nice work, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you again next week.